What if I told you one of the greatest investments you can make in your future has nothing to do with your bank account? It has to do with your health. We spend a lot of time talking about getting our finances in shape, getting our relationships in shape, getting our careers in shape, getting our spiritual lives in shape, which is extremely important. But sometimes we neglect the one thing we carry with us into every one of those areas. What is that? Our bodies. You cannot fulfill your purpose without your body. You cannot serve your family without your body. You cannot do the work that God has called you to do without your body. And while none of us can control everything that happens to our health, there are some things that we can control. What we eat, how much we move, how much we rest, what habits we develop, and how seriously we take the responsibility of caring for the body God has given us. So today, I want to talk about another part of a new life, because maybe the adjustment you need isn't just spiritual, although that's number one, but it may also be physical. Maybe it's time to make a halftime adjustment with your health. Listen to what Paul says in 1 Corinthians 6, verses 19 through 20. What? Know you not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, and you are not your own? For you are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body. Think about those words. Your body is a temple, not an idol, not something we worship, but something entrusted to us. And Paul tells Timothy in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8, for bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things. Sometimes we read profiteth little as though Paul is saying physical exercise doesn't matter, but that's not what he's saying at all. He's comparing physical training with spiritual training. Physical fitness has value in this life. Godliness has value in this life and eternity. So spiritual health should always come first, but that doesn't mean physical health doesn't matter. It means we need to get our priorities in right order. Here's where I think most of us struggle, or at least I do from time to time. We know what to do. We just don't consistently do what we know. Most people don't need another book telling them that vegetables are probably better for them than donuts. We know. We know we need to move. We know we need to exercise. We know we need to get enough sleep. We know we need to drink water. We know we probably shouldn't eat everything we want every time we want it. The problem usually isn't information. The problem is implementation. And that's true in almost every area of our life. We know the playbook, but knowing the playbook doesn't win the game. Running the plays do. That's how you win the game. You run and execute the playbook. I spent years coaching football and track and field, and I can tell you this. You can draw up the greatest play in the world on the board, but eventually somebody has to execute it. And our health is no different. We can have the perfect workout program, the perfect diet, the perfect fitness app, the perfect pair of shoes, but none of those things work unless we do. And that's where, or that leads to another problem. We keep waiting for motivation. I'm going to start Monday. Or I'm going to start after vacation. I'm going to start after the holidays. I've heard that one a lot through the years. I'm going to start January 1st. Well, that only comes around once a year. If you miss it, guess what? And before long, we've spent years preparing to start something we could have started yesterday. I want to give you 4 principles for living healthier. The first principle is stewardship over appearance. The goal shouldn't simply be to look better. There's nothing wrong with wanting to lose weight, gain muscle, or look better in the mirror. But there needs to be something deeper driving us. Stewardship. God's given you one body in which to live out this earthly assignment. So we need to take care of it. And I've not always done that. And if you're honest, neither have you. I mean, health isn't about vanity. It's about capacity. Capacity to serve, capacity to work, capacity to lead, having the capacity to play with your children and your grandchildren, capacity to travel, to minister, to enjoy the life God has given you. Don't just ask, how do I want to look? Because that's what society and what the internet tries to focus on. Ask, what do I want my body to still allow me to do 10, 20, or 30 years from now? That's a completely different question, right? Second principle is discipline over motivation. Motivation's wonderful, but motivation comes and goes. Discipline says, I'm doing it whether I feel like it or not. And then, once again, Apostle Paul, he used some athletic language in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 through 27. And he talks about running a race. And he talks about striving for mastery. And he talks about bringing this body under control. Why? Because discipline matters. And here's something I've learned. You rarely regret the workout you completed. You usually regret the one you talked yourself out of. Some mornings you're going to feel great. Other mornings, that bed is going to start preaching one of the greatest sermons you've ever heard. See if any of these ring a bell. Stay right here. Rest. You deserve it. Start tomorrow. You've got to make a decision. Who is in control, your feelings or your decisions? A disciplined life isn't built by doing difficult things only when they're convenient. It's built by doing the right things consistently. The third principle is consistency over intensity. This may be the biggest mistake people make. They decide they're going to change everything overnight. They haven't exercised in 3 years and suddenly they're training like they're getting ready for the NFL Combine. They change their entire diet. They exercise 6 days a week. They eliminate everything they enjoy. And then 2 weeks later, they're done. Why? Because they created something that they couldn't sustain. So here's a better approach. Make small adjustments that you can repeat. Like, for instance, walk 20 minutes. Drink more water. Strength train a few times a week. Eat a little better. Get to bed a little bit earlier. Reduce some of the things you know aren't helping you, then build from there. Remember what halftime adjustments is all about. You don't always have to completely change the game plan. Sometimes you just need to make the right adjustment. Small adjustments repeated over time can produce enormous results. And then finally, the fourth principle is purpose over punishment. Exercise shouldn't be punishment for what you ate yesterday. And eating healthy shouldn't make you miserable. We need to change the way we think about our health. Instead of saying, I have to exercise, try saying, I get to exercise. I get to move. I get to walk. I get to lift. I get to work. I get to take care of myself. And I know some of you think maybe that sounds silly, but have you ever had a virus and been sick in bed and thought, man, if I felt better, I'd go do these things that I need to do. But you can't do them then. And there may come a day when you wish you could do some of those things that you're choosing not to do today. That's perspective. One way I sometimes trick my body into working out when I'm not really motivated is I tell myself that I'll go to the gym and I'll just do like 2 exercises. And that's pretty easy to talk myself into. And then once I'm there, I always end up doing more than that. The hard part is getting in the car to leave. We don't take care of our health because we hate our bodies. We take care of our bodies because we value the life God's given us. So let's bring this into the locker room. Imagine you're at halftime. The first half represents the way you've handled your health up until today. Maybe you've played a great first half. Well, wonderful, keep going. Maybe you've been inconsistent. Maybe you've gained weight. Maybe you've stopped exercising. Maybe you've allowed work to consume your schedule. Maybe you've been taking care of somebody else while neglecting yourself. Maybe you simply haven't made your physical health a priority. Here's the good news. The first half is over. You can't replay it. You can't change it. But you can learn from it. And you can decide how you're going to play the second half. So here's your halftime adjustment. Stop trying to change everything and identify one physical adjustment you can make today. Not next month, not Monday, not next year, but today. Maybe it's walking for 30 minutes. Maybe it's joining a gym. Maybe it's getting back into strength training. Maybe it's cutting back on sugar. Maybe it's drinking more water. We all need to do more of that probably. Maybe it's improving your sleep. Maybe it's scheduling the health appointment you've been putting off. You pick one. Because one adjustment creates momentum, and momentum creates change. I'll end with this. Here's my challenge for you. For the next 30 days, make one commitment to your health that's realistic, it's measurable, and it's repeatable. Not something dramatic, something sustainable, something that you know you can do. And before you make that commitment, ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, what do I need to start doing? Number 2, what do I need to stop doing? And number 3, what do I need to continue doing? So we got start, stop, continue. 3 questions. That's your health game plan. Then write your adjustment down. Put it somewhere you can see it, and for the next 30 days, execute the play. Don't chase perfection. Chase consistency. Because you're not trying to win one day. You're trying to build a lifestyle. And if you're watching this today, and you know there's an adjustment that you need to make with your health, I want you to do something. Don't just watch another video. Make the adjustment. And put your adjustment in the comments. Maybe it's, I'm going to walk every day. Or I'm going to get back in the gym. Or I'm changing the way I eat. I'm going to prioritize sleep. Something. But put it in the comments what your goal is. Because one of the things about goals is you're way more likely to achieve the goals that you actually take time to write down. So whatever your adjustment is, write it down, commit to it. And if this message encouraged you, like this video, subscribe to Halftime Adjustments channel, and share this with someone who might need a little encouragement to get back in the game. Because this isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming intentional. God has given us a life to live, people to love, work to accomplish, a purpose to fulfill, and a legacy to leave behind. So take care of your body. That body's carrying you through that assignment. Your past doesn't get to determine your next play. The whistle's blown. You're in the locker room. You can see what needs to change. Now make the adjustment and go win the second half. I'll see you next time on Halftime Adjustments.